Hello, I'm Fiona, a second year PhD student at the Nottingham University Business School, and this week I'm taking part in the Sustainability Action Week challenge to try and live as sustainably as possible. I've made pledges for the week. The first one is to have 2 vegetarian only days, and then the other days I will have meat but sourced locally. The second pledge is to have no food waste. The third is to try and reduce my car mileage. The fourth is to try and completely avoid single-use plastic, and where that's not possible, to minimize my usage of it. So I'll take you on the journey of my Sustainability Action Week. I wanted to shop locally to get my ingredients for the week, so I went to some local markets and shops instead of the big supermarkets like I usually would do. I decided this week to try and get everything all from one place. I visited the farmers market this morning. These are all for recipes throughout the week, so I've created this meal plan, and these are some of the things that I wanted to get. And then I got some jumbo oats, raspberry granola, dry roasted peanuts, banana chips and some macaroni for a meal on Monday. Then I also picked up 2 cereal rolls from the bakery, and finally I went to the butcher. So here I have a chicken breast fillet, 4 sausages and a lamb shank. So this is a little snapshot of everything that I bought. It was also the first time that I'd been to the refill market, and I had a really good experience in there. Today I'm making a mean green macaroni pasta. So it'll be macaroni, broccoli, peas, spinach, along with the cheese sauce. Another one of my pledges is also to use less plastic packaging. However, with this cheese, this is the only one I can get that's just lactose free, and it does come in the plastic packaging. So my goal is to minimize it as much as possible. So I'm gonna chop all this up, start cooking. The beginnings of the sauce and the pasta and broccoli cooking. So this did take quite a long time to make, the macaroni cheese, but I'm about to try. It's really nice. This recipe also made a lot more than I thought. I think it'll definitely be lunch tomorrow, probably even dinner tonight as well. So although it takes around 40 minutes to actually prepare, make the cheese sauce, then 25 minutes of cooking in the oven, tomorrow it will save me time. As long as you're happy to use the leftovers the next day. Definitely a good recipe to give a go, and part of Meat Free Monday. For a quick dinner, I'm going to use some veg that I've got that is going spare to make a soup, and we have a soup maker. So 20 minutes, you chop up any leftover veg, 550 grams, add 650 ml of water in a stock cube, and 20 minutes later you have some soup. So I'll show you how it works. So the veg ready to go in. So that's all my ingredients chopped nice and small, and I'm just going to add the lid on now. And start. Here's the finished soup after 21 minutes. So I'm going to do a pot ahead to take over to Nana, and then I've got some as well for a busy day at uni. So today I've got a busy day on campus, so I've got my reusable bamboo travel mug full of tea ready to go for the day, and also some homemade banana bread as a snack. Then when I get back, I'll use the rest of the macaroni, and I've also got soup to deliver to Nana later. So today's quite a few miles in the car. One of my goals was to reduce the number of miles that I do in my car. Wednesday is always my busiest day on campus, and I do have to drive there at the moment because I'm not living in Nottingham for now, I'm at home. So yeah, we'll see how the weekly mileage total goes. Today's meal is lamb shank with some mint gravy, carrots, onions and potatoes. and a homemade apple crumble flapjack for pudding. So I'm now on day 5 of my sustainability challenge, and I'm just about to eat some leftovers from the lamb that I had yesterday. And also another goal that I've got is to try and sort some things out to take to a charity shop. And I actually found one that will come and collect the items. So if you're in a student house and you don't have a car, this is a really good way of donating some of your things, potentially at the end of the semester or at the end of the year. So you can find these organisations just online, and you fill out your basic contact details, your address, and how many bags you've got for collection and when you'd be around for them to collect it. So I'm going to try that out and we'll see how it goes, but I thought it was a really good idea. Final activity for the week was just to plant out some herbs. So I had a couple of pots going spare, and I thought I'd plant some mint and some chives to have handy in the kitchen for all the food that I've been cooking and want to continue doing. So that's something that I've really found enjoyable throughout the week and something that I can definitely continue. Overall, I've really enjoyed doing the Sustainability Action Week challenge, and there are definitely some things that I'll carry on doing. For example, having at least one meat-free day per week, because that's really not a big ask at all, and it gives me a chance to try different recipes. Also, through being more planned with my meals and thinking about where I'm going to buy certain ingredients, like from the market, the butcher, refill stores, which I would definitely go to again. Things like spices, when I run out, they're so much cheaper than in the shop, so that was a really interesting experience. I found the fruit and veg stores slightly more expensive, so I'd either perhaps buy less or pick certain things that I'd buy there that supermarkets usually wrap in lots of single-use plastic packaging, and then in the supermarkets buy the loose items like the carrots, bananas, etc., so that I can still think about minimising my plastic waste. Then things like planting herbs, donating clothes. I've learnt some really interesting things, and I hope that from this video you also have, and you also have a go at some of these actions or others that you think of throughout Sustainability Week.